Who is the face of the police state? Well, some would say it's Biden. Some might say it's Obama. A pretty good candidate is Merrick Garland, and I'm going to talk about Merrick Garland in a moment. I do want to emphasize that the police state is much broader than just the police agencies of the government. It's actually much broader than the government itself, because it includes elements of academia. Think about censorship, for example. Who's putting censorship into place? The government, yes, but sometimes the government doesn't go to the digital platforms. They farm it out to nonprofits, the Stanford Internet Observatory, the Virality Project, and then those guys feed it to the digital platforms. And then you got the media cheering on the censorship and reporting people that this guy needs to be censored and so on. So think of what a sprawling police state operation censorship alone is. And then you turn to all the other features of the police state and you find the same thing. Ideological indoctrination, a lot of it's coming from the government. But think about it. It's happening in the schools, the colleges. It's happening. You have ideological indoctrination coming from the healthcare industry, coming from the health authorities. So this is a private-public octopus. But nevertheless, a kind of very good stand-in for all of this would be one Merrick Garland, who was just interviewed by 60 Minutes, and I watched most of it, not the whole thing, and picked up a couple of themes. First of all, you just had to shake your head every time the guy goes, "We are impartially enforcing the law. I'm not for Democrats. I'm not for Republicans. No, I don't take my cues from the White House." I mean, the bald-faced lies. You have to be a liar of the caliber of a Goebbels. I mean, I think back to Goebbels' famous quote, which has stuck with me through a biography I read, I think Kurt Riess's biography, where he says, propaganda is not to be judged based upon whether it's true or false. That has nothing to do with it. Propaganda is good if it works. In other words, if the lie is successful, if people believe it, great propaganda. And all other propaganda is bad. That doesn't work. That doesn't convince, regardless of whether it's true or false. And I think Merrick Garland is sort of a disciple of Goebbels in this respect. Now, the funny thing about this is that Merrick Garland in the interview talks about, oh, I've lost some relatives in the Holocaust, and you know what? This has given me a real respect for the rule of law. As if the one lesson that he's learned from the experience of his relatives is that you got to stick to the rule of law. I think it's much more likely that Merrick Garland looked at what happened, and I'm talking here not just about the Holocaust, but the prelude to the Holocaust, the whole Nazi regime. The lesson of the Nazis really is that you can identify an enemy. You can then dehumanize your enemy, the Jews. You can stigmatize them, you can ostracize them, you can try to shut down their businesses, you can prosecute them and put them in jail, and then if all else fails, you kill them. And that program, you have to say, was in a terrifying way successful. Why? Because basically Hitler broke the back, destroyed the Jews in Germany. Even now, there's a relatively small number of Jews in Germany. The Jews had to flee. Of course, a lot of them were killed. And so I think the real lesson that Merrick Garland has taken is that this sort of police state tactics can be effective. And so he's like, listen, in a different environment here in America, I can then implement these same tactics. What do? I identify these patriots, these Christians, these conservatives. I stigmatize them. I dehumanize them. I act like even trivial things they did. This guy walked into the Capitol, looked around. Somehow, oh, he's trying to overthrow the government. He's a subversive. Just exactly what the Nazis said about them. They're subversives. They're trying to overthrow the country. And so we've got to be aware of this menace and we've got to destroy them. And that really is Merrick Garland's message, except in this case, it's not in the fiery tones of Hitler. It's in the sort of measured tones of a guy who acts like, I'm doing nothing more, guys, than implementing the law. Guys, I got Mike Lindell calling into the podcast. You're going to see him right after this ad. So it's kind of fun for me to be talking about MyPillow and then bring on Mr. MyPillow himself. Mike Lindell has a passion to help you get the best sleep of your life. He didn't stop with the pillows. He also created the Giza Dream bed sheets. These sheets look and feel great, which means an even better night's sleep, which is crucial for your overall health. Mike found the world's best cotton called Giza. It's ultra soft and breathable, also extremely durable. And Mike's latest deal, sale of the year, for a limited limited time, 50% off the Giza Dream Sheets, marking prices down as low as $29.98, depending on the size. Go to mypillow.com and a promo code Dinesh. There you'll find not just this great offer, but deep discounts on all the MyPillow products, the mattress topper, the kitchen towel sets, and so much more. The number to call, 800-876-0227. Once again, it's 800-876-0227, or go to mypillow.com. Just don't forget to use the promo code DINESH Dinesh.